Dear students, welcome to the 14th lecture of 8051 timer/counter. So, this is the next example with respect to the timer. So, first I will go through the program. First I will read out the statement. Assuming that crystal frequency is 11.0592 megahertz. We have the crystal frequency and we need to find out A and B, right? First we need to find out the frequency of the square wave generated on pin P1.0 in the following program. That means they have already given the code. With the help of this code, we need to find out the frequency of the square wave generated on this particular pin P1.0. So this is the first task that we need to do. The second task is we need to find out the smallest frequency achievable in this program and the th value to do that, that means we need to find out the smallest achievable frequency and the value of th. So first let us see the program. So first move tmod comma hash 20 edge. Please note the value of tmod here, 20h. So put these values inside the tmod register. You will come to know that which timer is used and which mode in which mode the code is written. Right? That means timer 1 is used here and the program is written under mode 2, that is 8-bit auto reload. So in order to understand this program, you should go through the working principle of 8-bit auto reload. You can go through the last sessions with respect to the mode 2. Then the second one, so in order to start the timer, we need to initialize some count value. They have taken the count value as hash 5, that is taken inside th1, right? So we are under 8-bit auto reload, 5 is given to th1. Then start the timer, and we have to check whether the timer has been reset to 0 or not with the help of this instruction. This back is given to same instruction, that is back. We go on checking the value of tf. When it resets back to 0000h, we need to complement the value of the bit, that is we are using p1.0. Through this particular bit we are generating the square wave. Next, so if the value of this is equal to 0, it will become 1. If the value of this is equal to 1, it will become equal to 0. So like this the square wave will be generated. Okay, so like this. So this is P1.0, right? And this is a T. Okay. Next, after complementing the value of this, if it is equal to, initially if it is equal to 0, if I complement that, it will take the value of this, right? So this will remain until the value of this will become equal to 0, right? Then clear tf flag. Next, in order to restart the counter, in order to get this, so we have to write s jump back. See, you should very careful. In mode 2, there is not necessary to load th value once again. After clearing tf flag, give the label directly to this jnb f tf1 comma back, because since mode 2 is auto reload, automatically the value of th1 will take up its value and this process will be continued, right? This is what the program that we need to understand first. So the first case is to find out the frequency of the square wave generated on this particular pin. So first and foremost thing, in a mode 2, it is a 8-bit auto reload. Am I right? Auto reload. Okay, 8-bit instance, the maximum count that the counter can takes place is ffh. Okay, 0 FFH. In decimal, what I will do, I will take 256, right? Actually it is in a decimal form, right? So here we need to calculate the frequency now. So what is to be done is, actually 255 plus 1 it is to be written. So directly what I will do, I will take 256 minus the value of th1 is 5, that is to be taken, which is equal to what you will get, 251 you will get, right? Am I right? So this should be multiplied with 1.085 microseconds, because the crystal frequency is of 11.0592 megahertz, right? When I multiply this, I will get 272.33 microseconds. Am I right? So this is only for one pulse, either positive you can take or either negative you can take. So if I want to take a total period, a t is equal to 2 into this value, that is 272.33 microseconds, right? You will get t is equal to what will you get, 544.67 microseconds. So this is the total time period, including both the positive pulse as well as negative pulse. If I take the inverse of this, f is equal to 1 by t, am I right? If I take 1 by t, then I will get 1.835 kilohertz. So this is the first task that we did now, right? F is equal to 1 by t is equal to 1.85 kilohertz. Okay. Next is, this is A part. B part, what is B? The smallest frequency achievable. We need to find out the smallest frequency achievable in this program, and the value of th we have to find. See, I will go with the same concept here. So we, as all of you know, we know that t is equal to 1 by f. So we need to find out the smallest value of the frequency. So if f should be very small, then t should be very high. Am I right? If t should be very small, then f should be very high. Now the question is to find out the smallest value of the frequency. So in order to do so, what we need to do, in order to get it more value for a t, we need to take th value is equal to 00h. Then only I will get the highest value of t and the smallest value of the frequency, right? So in this case, what we need to do is, it's very simple. T is equal to before that what we need to do is, what we did here, 256, take same 256, right? And the value of th here we have taken 5, here I am taking 00. So this whole value is to be multiplied into 1.085 microseconds. Am I right? Okay. And the for this whole, in order to get the total t value, right? T is equal to 2 into 256 minus 00 into 1.85 microseconds, right? So you will get t is equal to what you will get, that is 2 into 256 into 1.085 microseconds. So you will get 555.52 microseconds, right? Here we have got 544, here we have got 555. So if you take the inverse of this particular t, you will get 1.8 kilohertz. This is the smallest achievable frequency, right? This is the smallest achievable frequency of the this particular wave, okay, of this particular square wave. Hope this concept is clear. You just go through this question and solution once again. So if you have any doubts, you can put the comments. I will try to solve it. Thank you.